Deep inside a modest home in Monroe, Connecticut, there is a room no visitor is allowed to enter. This is where Ed and Lorraine Warren, the most famous paranormal investigators of the 20th century, kept the most dangerous haunted objects ever encountered. Behind this door lie dolls, statues, and even human skulls, each carrying a dark history of terror and death. Among them, one case stands out the most, a glass box holding what seems to be just an ordinary rag doll. But this is no ordinary doll. This is Annabelle. Over the years, stories of Annabelle's curse have spread fear across the world. One museum visitor, who mockingly banged on the glass case, died in a tragic motorcycle crash on his way home. Another family reported hearing the laughter of a child in their house for weeks after taking a photo with the doll, though no children lived there. Lorraine Warren always gave the same warning: never open the case. Never touch the doll. Annabelle is like an antenna, channeling something far darker than you can ever imagine. Annabelle's legend began in the early 1970s. Two nurses, Donna and Angie, shared an apartment and received the doll as a birthday gift. At first, Annabelle seemed like nothing more than an innocent decoration. But strange things began happening. The doll would mysteriously change positions. At times, it was found with its arms crossed or legs folded when no one had touched it. Then came the notes, small scraps of parchment with the words "Help me" scrawled in childish handwriting. Neither of the nurses owned paper like it. One evening, they found Annabelle standing upright in their living room. For a soft rag doll, this was physically impossible. That was when fear truly set in. Things escalated when a friend named Lou stayed over. He awoke in the middle of the night unable to move, feeling the pressure of something heavy on his chest. Looking down, he saw Annabelle crawling slowly toward his face. The next morning, he discovered claw-like scratches across his body. They healed within 2 days, something human wounds don't normally do. This was the moment Donna and Angie realized they were dealing with something inhuman. The nurses contacted a local priest, who eventually brought in Ed and Lorraine Warren. After investigating, the Warrens concluded that the doll was not possessed by a child spirit, as the nurses initially thought. Instead, it was being used by a demonic force. Ed Warren explained, "Spirits do not inhabit dolls. What we're dealing with is inhuman. The doll is simply a conduit, a tool for the entity to draw you in. The true goal is possession, not of the doll, but of you." Deep inside a modest home in Monroe, Connecticut, there is a room no visitor is allowed to enter. This is where Ed and Lorraine Warren, the most famous paranormal investigators of the 20th century, kept the most dangerous haunted objects ever encountered. Behind this door lie dolls, statues, and even human skulls, each carrying a dark history of terror and death. To prevent further harm, the Warrens built a special glass case, lined with sacred prayers, to contain Annabelle. This case was placed in the Occult Museum at their home in Monroe, where thousands of cursed artifacts were kept. The case bears a bold sign, "Warning, positively do not open." But curiosity has always been a dangerous thing. Over the decades, several people who mocked or disrespected Annabelle faced mysterious accidents. A young man once tapped on the glass, laughing at the doll. Hours later, he lost control of his motorcycle and died instantly. Another couple claimed they saw the doll blink at them. Later that night, their car mysteriously swerved off the road. Even during museum tours, Lorraine often noticed visitors pale or dizzy after standing too close to Annabelle's case. In 2020, rumors spread online that Annabelle had somehow escaped from her glass case. Panic swept social media, with thousands of people convinced the cursed doll was on the loose. The museum quickly clarified that Annabelle had not moved an inch. But the sheer terror that a single rumor could cause proved how powerful her legend had become. Today, Annabelle rests silently in her case. Security cameras are said to capture faint movements inside, shadows that shift when no one is there. Some believe her curse is dormant, waiting for someone reckless enough to open the case again. Whether Annabelle is a hoax, a legend, or a true conduit for something dark, one truth remains: evil doesn't always hide in the shadows. Sometimes it hides behind a doll's painted smile.